Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
They're grown up and they're great kids. So how did you do that?
Oh, Kent. By the grace of God, with good examples, with His Word to guide us, through lots of prayer, and with a united front, so that Ray and I were a team. One of us wasn't left out there dangling on his or her own. The kids knew they could not pit one of us against the other.
Did they try?
Maybe at times, because they knew I was a little bit more of a pushover. But how do you raise godly kids? Oh, that would be 5 podcasts, wouldn't it? Yeah. We just thank the Lord that they love Him. They're serving Him. They've married Christians. They're raising Christians. We had our 15th grandchild last month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we praise God that they're happily serving Him. We were blessed in that Ray had a wonderful example in his parents, and I had a beautiful example in my mother. My father was not a Christian till I was a preteen. But so we had some good examples growing up in different ways. You know, it's always easy to give handy tips. I'm full of handy tips for anybody who wants them. But really, I believe it's God's grace. It's a miracle that any of us come to faith. And you conceive these children in love, and you raise them in love, and you want to spend eternity with them. So you pour everything into them.
How did you handle a busy schedule, including travel, when you're raising kids?
Well, we tried to make sure that one of us was always there.
Okay.
Except we did take one weekend off together as a couple each year, usually in December, because that's our anniversary month. But when Ray traveled, we would check each other's calendars. I started traveling to speak when, in the mid-'90s, the kids were in elementary and middle school, and Ray would cover. We did have patterns. I mean, we had breakfast together, not with Ray every day, but with me. Then we'd go about our daily duties, and we would have a sit-down dinner together nearly every night.
Oh, really?
And a Sunday noon meal after church. And in the evenings, when the children were little, I would clean up the kitchen, and Ray would bathe them and get them into bed, and then we'd all read together. And as they grew older, we would have our Bible time together then. Ray led us in family devotions.
In the morning or the evening?
In the evening. It just worked better in the evening for us, Kent, because in the morning, you know, we were all thinking, oh, is he taking too long? Or, you know, why is that child praying so long when we've got to catch the bus? Or, you know, it just worked better for us.
Okay.
In the
After
evening.
dinner?
After dinner. We usually did it around dessert.
Okay.
And we'd say, sweet as a honeycomb are your words to my mouth. And we just want to, you know, have the word associated with sweetness.
Yeah.
So we try to make it short. We'd keep it according to their age. And we'd open it for discussion. We try to make it a reward. One year, we asked the kids, we promised them a trip to Disneyland if we were in Chicago at that time, and Disneyland was in Los Angeles, that area. We were going to see his parents. The kids didn't know that we already had a trip planned that summer. But if they could learn one verse from each book of the Bible.
Oh, wow.
And so
Memorize it?
Yes, I'm a school teacher, so I made the visuals, and Ray walked us through, and we just walked through. It was a flip chart, and they got 64 verses learned, and we got to go to Disneyland. Fun things like that where, you know, it's not always daddy telling a long story with a great moral at the end that bores us, but keep it age appropriate. Laugh together. Maybe it's just a night for praying over one of the children together. Maybe it's a night where you say, hey, you know, we're just kind of tired. Let me just tell the Lord we're tired, and let's go relax somewhere, so that it doesn't become legalistic or rigid.
Yeah.
But it feels good. It feels right. It becomes what Ray likes to call a win-win for both. You as the head of the family feel that you're leading well, and the children and wife, as the recipients, feel honored to be led in this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that comment about if you're really tired, just telling the Lord that we need some rest and then resting. It is one of the things that has stood out to me about Ray is how near God seems. It's like that's what you would do with a friend.
Yes.
But I don't think we always think that way with God.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, my dad died when I was 10, and so Mom raised us, and she did a great job, and we gave her a run for it too. I was not a very good kid, but some of my favorite memories now, it's what I remember is Mom reading her Bible in the evening, and if we had a question, she was there, to talk. And but yeah, she was very diligent, I guess we could say. At the time, I would have thought maybe using a term more like just demanding or something, but very diligent with having devotions right at the dinner table. It was the daily bread, and it always seemed like it took way too long to read through it, and her prayer was a little bit too long often. But it was appropriate, and in hindsight,
Yes.
that helped me to see that her faith was important enough to affect her daily life, and that lesson stuck.
Yes.
Anything else you did with your kids?
When they were growing,
habits?
we did try to take a vacation each summer outside of our home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we were really broke, but we tried to go somewhere for at least 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
Ray would often take us to a lake, and the kids could swim, the boys would fish, Krista and I would have fun with things. And so we tried to make lots of memories that way.
Yeah.
We would try to have one family night a week. Oftentimes it was Friday. We'd play games. We'd watch a movie together. Just make it a little bit easier where we enjoy each other.
Yeah.
So that the kids kind of like being home.
Yeah.
We spent money and bought a ping pong table, which we put in our basement those years when the kids were in high school and middle school. And we'd have fun ping pong tournaments. And, we tried to show the kids that life is really great.
Yeah.
It can really be enjoyed. And why not? Let's enjoy it to the fullest. God has given us this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's embrace it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we tried to have vacation, trying to think of other, we would teach the children about spending money and encourage them to work. They had to start working at a certain age, and then we teach them about tithing, those kind of things. Other patterns that I'm sure your listeners are into, weekly chores, so that they had some responsibilities. We tried to help our home be open so that they would learn what it means to welcome the stranger and the friend into your family circle.